So we are hanging out at camp, talking to some kids. What is meditation?
So it's where you get to feel your emotions and you take a breath in and get relaxed and calm.
Where do you think you can meditate?
A bunch of places, like right here in these trees.
So have you guys ever meditated?
A what?
Did you ever do meditation?
Maybe when I was like younger.
Here's what's coming up.
A lot of people don't know, Michelle, that we only talk to each other through microphones. The first thing coming up, Michelle, is a new members class.
Yes, if you've been thinking that you might want to join our community as a formal member, or you just want more information about our community, we've got 2 opportunities for new members classes coming up. An online on Sunday, July 9th from 11:30 to 1. It'll be on Zoom. And an in-person one Monday night, July 10th, 6:30 to 8 p.m. in our community center.
I am so grateful as well that we have a school supply drive coming up. Our Make a Difference team will be all over the plaza, so bringing those backpacks, those pencils, those pens. We're here to help supply all of the kids in Greater Denver, partnering with the Action Center to have the school supplies that they need to have a great school year. If you're not here on campus, you can go online, and we have an Amazon wish list, and you can mail stuff directly here to the church.
I'm an Amazon queen. I have donated that way many times. It's a great way to do it.
And it's always exciting to open up the boxes, and all the kids love the bubble paper
yes,
too.
Exactly.
Hey, Daniel Namath, Michelle, is coming to perform at our services next Sunday, July 16th, and then he's going to be coming back at night to do one of these cool outdoor concerts. It's on the patio. The sun is shining. Usually it rains for like 30 seconds. It goes away. We've got a food truck.
Right.
It'll be a lovely night. Bring your lawn chair. Have a great time. Just a love donation. You're one of the premier singer-songwriters in New Thought. Really looking forward to it.
Yep, one of our New Thought stars. Going to be exciting.
Yeah, and next week as well, Dr. Patty's going to be teaching a grief workshop.
Yes. Dr. Patty's doing an online workshop. If you've been dealing with any kind of grief or loss, please join us for this workshop. It's 5 tools for dealing with grief. It's from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. on July 16th. It's for a love offering. Pay what works for you, and it's going to be a wonderful, deepening experience.
Great tools for living a great life, and so grateful for Dr. Patty.
We are hanging out at Rainbow Day Camp talking to some kids. A lot of times we talk about breathing. Why do they say take a deep breath?
To calm people down, like if people are super hyper. When you take a deep breath, sometimes you just want to forget about some things. Like if you're really stressed, it might help you relax from that.
Okay, how do you take a deep breath?
Usually slow, not like... Yeah.
Okay.
Because then you're like hyperventilating, which doesn't help at all. Exactly.
How long do you think it takes to take a deep breath?
One time my brother tried to do a deep breath for 10 seconds. Have a great week.
All right, everybody, this is Madeline Jesburska. Maddie's here to sing with us today. Maddie is the daughter of Zamira, one of our ministers. She's got a great voice. Now you guys get to sing with us. It's called All the Good. Lyrics are on the screen. Here we go. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that I can do. One more time. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Madeline. Great to have you both here, as well as our wonderful Mile High Band. Aren't we blessed? We are so blessed. Good morning, Mile High Church. Thank you so much for being here with us in our beautiful teal sanctuary, and thank you to those tuning in online. We're so thrilled to have you here. One of the things that I've always loved about this teaching, this faith tradition, and this community in particular is our desire to create more peace on the planet, to affirm, to pray about, to accept, and to know that the work that we do within can allow peace to unfold in every nation and every heart and every home, everywhere. And so it's not just a nice idea. Every week at the end of our service, we sing about it, right? And I want you to know that at the beginning of our day, as our team that is in the service, the musicians and the practitioners and the ministers all gather to pray, we light our peace candle ceremoniously over there every Sunday. We light it and we affirm peace on this planet. And I want to call it out and let you know that it's there because I want you to understand that our community is a stand for that. But I also think that it serves as a beautiful focal point so that at any point in our service, if any of us feels that our peace has been disturbed by something we're thinking about or something that someone says or something that happens, that we can always focus in and breathe in that peace and feel the light of it ignite the peace within us. And that is how we create peace on planet Earth. So allow the peace candle to serve you. Yes, thank you. Let there be peace on earth. And we also love to remind ourselves of our beautiful mission and vision and mission each week, and invite you to read them aloud with me now. Let's start with our vision. Oneness revealed. A world of love, peace, and abundance for all. And our mission, to serve as a spiritual beacon for personal empowerment and global enlightenment. And so we step now further into our service and spiritual practice as we sing together, experience silence together, and we get a Dr. Patty prayer today. So let us begin.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
just acknowledge the beautiful essence of silence. And I ask that we each place our attention with our breath, gentle with our breath, recognizing that the breath itself is light. And we breathe in that light, that divine light of the Creator, infinite Spirit, Almighty God, that harmonic love that is always and has always been present. It is the very breath, the very light that is breathing in and through you, in and through me, in and through this beautiful community. So I recognize the presence of an almighty God. Oh, that God has so many names, doesn't it? But to feel it, to sense that inner spaciousness, that silence and breath brings us to the place of peace. Peace, be still, and know that everything that I am is of God, has been written. So everything that you are, I am, I affirm, is God in expression. And from this truth, this holy truth, the sacred truth, I speak these healing words this day, giving thanks for the sun over our heads, giving thanks for the power of the sun, the rays of the sun. And perhaps we could say the rays are the prayer. The prayer is with each one of us, that light, and it has always been. To unify and to recognize that the light, no matter what the darkness may seem, the light is dancing upon our shoulders. So the light has its way of dissolving any discord, any experiences, and transforming them into realizations, being real with the infinite. For all there is that ray, that prayer, that divine knowingness, the communion. So I behold this truth for all people everywhere, the little ones, the children, the elders of this planet, all people, all walks of faith we honor. And we give thanks, for each walk of faith leads us to that essence of light and divinity itself. So I bless this community, and I bless Dr. Michelle in a powerful, powerful message. The beauty of the music that opens us even wider to the truth. And I release these words to a cosmic dome that receives what has been prayed and brings forth the manifestation here and now. Oh, and I celebrate this with gratitude. Give thanks for the blessings at hand and at heart. And I declare it into being, and so it is. Amen.
I want to dedicate this song to my grandma, who's watching from Missouri, who turned 100 yesterday. There is a light, a light that guides you through the storm. There is a place of healing and calm. There is a peace, a peace that lives beneath the waves, beneath the sorrow and the joy. There is a stillness and grace. Your tears like rain are falling from the sky. It is God's love that is pouring from your eyes. friend. For the heart that breaks is just opening again. For the heart that breaks is just opening again. There is a light, a light that guides you through the storm. There is a place of healing and calm. There is a peace that lives beneath the waves, beneath the sorrow and the joy. There is a stillness and grace. Your tears like rain are falling from the sky, and it is God's love that is pouring from your eyes, and the wounds of life, oh, they bring healing, my friend. For the heart that breaks is just opening again. Yes, the heart that breaks is just opening again. There is a light.
Our first reading today is from our founder, Ernest Holmes. I am one with the truth of God. I speak this truth and proclaim it to be the reality of my experience in what I call little and in what I call big. In the simplest and the most complex things, I recognize the one truth, changeless, permanent, and eternally manifesting itself. Therefore, I know the truth about myself. I know the truth about everything I do. I know the truth about everyone I meet. I know the truth about every situation in which I find myself. The truth is not only perfection, it is also power. It is not only presence, it is also action. Therefore, the truth and power and the presence and the action of the living Spirit flow through everything I do, say, and think. I do know the truth, and the truth I know frees me and keeps me free. And from Desmond Tutu, we are each made for goodness, love, and compassion. Our lives are transformed as much as the world is when we live with these truths.
Don't be discouraged, you will realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can and I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors, your true colors are beautiful like a rainbow. This one makes you crazy and you've taken all you can bear. You call me up, 'cause you know I'll be there. And I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors, your true colors, your true colors are shining through. See your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors, your true colors are beautiful like a rainbow.
Oh, thank you, Madeline. It's so wonderful to have you here. Thank you, thank you. Beautiful. And our wonderful music director, Tom Litch. Thanks for bringing Maddie back. And our band, Bijou Barbosa, Mike Marlier, Rob Lowe, Dr. Kent Rautenstrauss. It's nice to come to work with such great musicians, but also amazing people. So we are blessed. It's like coming to work with your friends, and I love it. And coming to church with your friends. Hi, friends. Good to see you all. So I am excited today to have an opportunity to speak, and I want to say that that song really reminds me that I have an intention for us all, and that is that we have somebody in our lives that can see our true colors shining through, that there's somebody that we can call when we feel lost. And if there's not, what I know about Mile High Church is that we have practitioner prayer partners and ministers that we can all rely on to call who can see our true colors. So use them, right? Thank you, Sim. Thank you very much. I agree with that. And that's a wonderful thing. And we're doing such wonderful work in the world. I just want to briefly highlight that I'm so excited that we have our school supply drive going on. We are grateful to be able to support the Action Center here in Lakewood and support children who will need school supplies. You can see a wonderful demonstration of it on this lobby. You can go get your picture taken in a school bus even. It's going to be fun. And so you can contribute that way, or you can donate online. So we hope that you'll do that today and next Sunday, our final days. And tonight, one place to go to really experience the true colors and let God speak through you and shine through you is our Healing Light service at 5 o'clock. It's going to be facilitated by the wonderful Reverend Kay Johnson over in the Vote Center Auditorium, 5 p.m. Great meditation service. So please consider all of that good stuff. Today I'm bringing a message called Speaking Truth to Circumstance. And it is because it came to me that I had the wonderful invitation and opportunity to write the daily guides in our Science Mind magazine for July this month. So it's been wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. For those of you who aren't aware of it, our Centers for Spiritual Living, of which we're a part of, has a denominational magazine that you can subscribe to. You can get in our store today. They have some copies left. Great articles. On the front this month is Don Jose Ruiz, who's the son of Miguel Ruiz, who wrote the 5 Agreements. And so they have articles, but then every month they have these daily guides, a guide for every single day of the month written by a minister, a practitioner, or somebody. And they have a theme about them, and the theme for this month was speaking truth to circumstance. And then there's a guide every day that has a couple of quotes, one from someone out in the world and one from our founder, Ernest Holmes, a body of a concept. Each daily guide has a theme, and then an affirmation at the end. They're very contemplative, and people use them all over the world. And so I nabbed this one from our store. I will put it back in case someone wants it afterwards. And I wanted to not only highlight the good work of our beautiful magazine, but I really enjoyed writing the guides and found great challenge and inspiration for my own journey in taking on this topic and then trying to break it down into 30 days. So the way that I tried to do it was to have the first week really articulate the basic ideas of our teaching, which I think then we rise up in our ability to speak truth to circumstance. A synonym for circumstance is condition, which I used a lot in the writing, and I'll use a lot today. And it's the opportunity to see the conditions, the manifestations, the circumstances in our individual life, as well as the life that we share with other humans on this planet, and stand and speak truth to that rather than continuing to speak untruth. Truth being spiritual truth. Truth being energetic truth that forwards the momentum of the good that we seek to experience versus continuing to speak to the challenge or what we don't like. And this can be very challenging. It can be very discombobulating because we get really invested in what we think is the truth at times. We've got our own truths, the power of our word that has come to us through our life story, each one of us. Our experiences, our relationships, our body, our finances, every realm of life has presented us with experiences and opportunities that we've drawn conclusions about, and then we make up what the truth is about that. I always say every human being has a degree. It's called an MSU, making stuff up. We've all got it. And we do it really well, and we're very committed to our degree. And so the power of our word comes forth as we think a thought routinely, habitually, about what life is all about, or what it means to have a family, or what it means to have a relationship, or what it means to be in our body, or what it means about money, or any area of life. We build these thoughts. We think them habitually. We think them deeply. They sometimes are lodged in our subjective or subconscious mind from experiences we had long ago we don't even remember. Some even say we have soul memory, a soulful intentionality for the experiences we want to have in our life, that all of that thought together, conscious, subjective, deeply the spiritual essence of us, work to create our reality such that the consequences, the circumstances, the conditions reflect that. Our actions that we take, habitual actions, habitual things we talk about and we tell other people about. Well, you know, it's all falling apart. Well, for you, it will all fall apart as long as that's what you keep talking about, right? That's what we teach. That's what we believe. And we get very committed to what we think is the truth, even when it's not serving us, even when it's causing us pain, or we're suffering, or we are frustrated. We'll continue to give lip service to the exact opposite of what we'd rather see. So our teaching comes in and says, that's not going to work. To have the world change, we have to speak truth to the circumstances and conditions and consequences of our thoughts that we're experiencing. We have to speak truth. I was reminded in a class I was teaching recently, and I told the class a story about a woman that I encountered years ago in my church in Arizona. It was in the basics class, the Beyond Limits foundational class that we teach. And she shared with the group that she was not married, and she really wanted to be married, and she couldn't understand why she wasn't married. And when I asked her, well, what do you think that's about? She said, well, I figured it out. There's not a single eligible man in Scottsdale, Arizona. And the whole class kind of was like taken aback. And some of the students tried to present her with an argument that just couldn't be true with the number of people. And she was having none of it. So then I tried to teach her a little bit about principle and what we're talking about here. And if you continue to believe something. And she was having none of it. And I saw how committed she was to her belief. There are no men. Nobody. And I thought to myself, she was so committed to it that a single man could run up naked in front of her going like this, and she wouldn't even see him. She would just be like, there's no single man in Scottsdale. She was absolutely committed. It reminded me of that video that I saw years ago where you can watch it on YouTube where there's some guys playing basketball. And they say, see if you can count how many baskets go in how many balls go in the hoop. And so you're focused on watching this. And meanwhile, a person comes through the game wearing a monkey costume and walks through the game. And then after the video's over, you can say to people, well, how many baskets? And everybody will argue. And then you can say, well, did you see the person in the monkey costume? And people will be flummoxed. What? That's all about focus. It's all about focus. So we can be really focused on how horrible it is and never see the paradise right in front of us. And conversely, we can be focused on how wonderful it is to be alive and the amazing opportunities that are here for us and never be influenced by the negative experiences that might be going on. You choose. Luckily, this woman was able to be influenced by her classmates, the principles we taught, by working with a practitioner prayer partner. And I'm happy to say she's married to a man from Scottsdale, Arizona. Yes, this stuff works. TSW. This stuff works. But it really reminds me that we all have places in our life where we cling to our beliefs. And the question that I will ask, that Dr. Phil asks, is, how's that working for you? At some point, we have to say, I'm not sure that's working for me. I'm not sure that's who I want to be, how I want to live, how I want to feel about life and my fellow human beings and about what is evolving on this beautiful planet. And in order for change to occur, not only in my experience, but in the big picture, each one of us, I love how Deepak Chopra says, each one of us is like a cell in the body of God. And the question becomes, are you a cell that is broadcasting happy, happy, joy, joy, living my life out, or are you a cancer cell? And it becomes that each one of us has to start taking responsibility for our daily words, actions, thoughts, energy, and shift the narrative of it, which is the basic idea of this teaching. So we begin to shift our experience with the sense of joy and collective experience we're having and become one who contributes something good to the whole of life. That's the opportunity that is before us. So I've brought 3 of my daily guides today to briefly explore as contributions to this effort that I'm inviting us into. And so the first one, they all, as I said, I'm bringing some of the quotes, so some of the formatting is here. The first one came out on July 3rd, and it's called Conditions Are Not Cause. Conditions are not cause. And it harkens back to what I've already been talking about. Everything that exists, every bit of life that exists, started out as a thought. Everything. Every condition, every person, everything in your life, in my life, it starts out as a thought. Ernest Holmes says to us, realize that behind everything that is seen is the silent cause. There is nothing but mind. And he capitalizes mind in this conversation because he sees the word mind as synonymous for God. So nothing but mind, and nothing moves except as mind moves it in our lives of conditions. We are the cause, and nothing moves except as our mind moves it. So remember, I'm talking about what I said in the beginning. We may not know exactly how it is that things got into our life or how they got into our experience. But what we can know is that somewhere along the way, we had a thought about it, or we nurtured thoughts about it. And we get to work with the things that unfold and understand that the conditions that have occurred, the circumstances in and of themselves, have no ability to show up without a thought to support them, an idea to support them. And so everything starts this way. Even this iPad stand. Somewhere along the way, somebody who was using their iPad said, I don't want to hold my iPad. I don't want to put it on a music stand. I wish I had something that I could just put it in and it would just be really nice and efficient and it would be really helpful and it'd hold it. And then they talked to somebody about it and they drew it up and then they manufactured it and then they reproduced it and then they've been selling them like crazy and we have an iPad stand that's very useful. Everything starts in mind. This stage, this plant, Katy, me. Hi, Katy. Everything up here started out as a thought. Everything does. And so when we want to change a condition, we tend to think, if I just could move this condition, if I could just get it to go this, or if I could push it away, or I could. But really where we teach people to start is start with your thought. Start within. Start in that place. This is how individuals, families, cultures, nations, churches, companies, organizations become what they become. It's through the individual and collective thought. We are all a part of the collective thought creation of Mile High Church and what it unfolds to be. It's not just me or Josh or our practitioners or the board. It's all of us together coming here, being a part of it. We are collectively creating and co-creating this beautiful community ongoingly. We're all a part of it. It's all of us together. And we're doing this in our own lives too. And it's important to remember that conditions are not cause. Conditions are the result of the thoughts we've been thinking, of the energy we've been launching. So the affirmation on this one is, beginning with my own mind, I affirm and envision changes to the conditions I choose to change. The next one I'm bringing to you today is from July 7th. Where is God in that? Have you ever felt that? Like, ugh. How could God be an expression of that? And I used quotes from Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who says, we must accept finite disappointments, but we must never lose infinite hope. And Ernest Holmes, who says, no doubt our external evolution is an everlasting process through which we become more aware of life. And so we recognize then that if every thought, every bit of energy is creating the conditions and situations in our life that we want to change them, we have to speak truth to them. We have to speak about them to change them. But we also have to acknowledge that they are God-informed too. One of the greatest challenges for us is the continued, persistent, Ernest Holmes called it superstitious belief that there's some God out there who's giving you lessons or making you have challenges or sending you the exact opposite of what you want just to see how you'll handle it, kind of thing. That's the kind of stuff your dad and mom might have done, or your grandma, but that's not, I don't think, and we don't believe how God plays in this world. We believe that it is this presence that is shining through every being everywhere, and we all get to use it, and we can use it for our greatest good, and we can use it to continue to affirm our deepest pain. And so one of the examples I used in this writing for this one was a lump of clay. And how I could take a lump of clay and I could form and fashion it into a butterfly or a tree or a sun. Or I could also take that lump of clay and form and fashion it into a rock and have it get a hard and throw it through a window and break a window, or throw it at Nene and hit him in the head there and knock him out. I could do all sorts of good with that clay, and I could do all sorts of what we might consider bad or destructive things with the clay. Now, does the clay care? Does the clay say, oh, Michelle, don't hit Nene in the head, that's bad. Bad girl. Doesn't do that. The clay allows me to utilize it however I want to utilize it. Now, I'm not sure if it has self-consciousness, but God, the presence that's shining through all of creation, is much the same way. It so loves us, so imparts itself to us completely and totally that it says, oh, my beloved, use me to create paradise, love. Use me to create joy and happiness. Use me to grow and deepen into a greater walk with me. Or use me to continue to talk about how bad it is and how horrible it is and how they over there and how whatever. I'm here for you, however you choose to use me. That is the beauty and the joy of this God presence. And so we can look at everything and say, somewhere along the way, for everything and everyone, even the things we love, like puppies and kitty cats and sunrises and sunsets and coffee and all the good things we love, and all the people we love and approve of, and all the people who are doing things the way we think they should be doing it, and they're doing it right? Oh, there's God in form. Our challenge, true spiritual growth, is, can I do that with the people I don't like? Yeah, can I do that? Yeah, I hear you, Jim. Can I do that with the people I don't approve of? How can I see God present in them? Which leads me to my last one, although I want to share the affirmation for this one before I go on. The affirmation is, I see the expression of the divine in all that exists, and in every moment of my life, God is. But the last one that really I have passion about is, divided we fall. Can I, this ability to speak truth to consequence and circumstance, to know that conditions are not cause, to know that the only way for me to change the condition is to speak truth with a capital T to it, and to know that everything that is expressing is God in form in some way, and to understand that the only way for us to create greater peace and well-being on our planet is through unified consciousness. Divided we fall. Divided, living from a consciousness of separation, leads to an us and them. Leads us to think that there are people we agree with and people we disagree with, which may be true. But there is a way to agree and disagree with someone that continues to promote respect and honor and promote the fact that they are God in form. I just happen to disagree with their perception about life. What happens is we get afraid. And in our fear, we separate ourselves and we fall into divisiveness. And we fall into pain and suffering. The quote I used for this one is Jimmy Carter. President Carter says, "The bond of our common humanity is stronger than the divisiveness of our fears and prejudices." And so this one is a call in my mind to always remember that when it comes to speaking truth to conditions, there are ways to do that continue to keep our unified awareness intact while keeping the unified awareness of other people intact. Some people call it civil dialogue, conversation, understanding that we can work together to weave and build a world that can have great diversity and great peace. I've reminded myself many times, and I remind us once again, that all of the teachers who teach unity and oneness say, and Ernest Holmes was one of them, oneness is not sameness. Our goal is not to get everyone in the world to see things the way we see them. That's not our goal and our intention, as much as we argue about it on social media and other places. That's never going to serve us. That's never going to be the way the human beings will exist on the planet. So why do we keep resisting it? Rather, it would be more powerful for us individually and collectively to be able to stand firmly in what works for us with great love and joy, while being willing to see many sides and see many options, and while being willing to continue to offer respect and honor to people that we vehemently disagree with. That, to me, is the unified consciousness and a person who's living from oneness, how they live. And we may be sitting here thinking it's easy. I have many times pridefully thought, well, I'm there. There's not a lot of people that I completely disagree with like that I criticize and make wrong. But I remember once that I was in a movie theater when I lived in Southern California back in the 90s, and I went to a movie by myself. It was the movie Philadelphia, starring Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington and many other wonderful people. And it was based on a true story of Tom Hanks was a young gay man who had contracted AIDS during the AIDS epidemic. He was a very successful attorney and suddenly was fired from his job and suspected that he was wrongfully terminated just for having this disease. And so he went and tried to find a lawyer. He finally finds a lawyer played by Denzel, and they go about litigating this issue. And there's a point in the movie, I'm crying through the whole movie all by myself. I think I brought a whole box of Kleenex and I went through it or something like that, and I'm sitting there. And Denzel Washington's character says very proudly, well, I don't have bias about gay people or people with AIDS. Here's where I really have bias: people who are intolerant of other people. And I was like, oh, my pride just fell down. And still today, here's what I struggle with. I struggle loving people who do not love people who want to just love who they want to love. I struggle loving people who do not feel that women should have the right to do whatever and men too, with our bodies. I struggle with people who are intolerant of other faith traditions and can't let people just be free to practice their own faith tradition. I struggle with that, and that's where my work is. It's to understand that I have to find a way to be tolerant, but beyond tolerance. Love and affirm and accept that there will be people who don't see it the way I see it, and that I can continue to live my life and be an ally for any and all groups of diversity that I feel the joy of their self-expression and want to support. And that is how we, I think, will all survive. It will take work. It takes me work every day as I hear the news. Work every day to send love to people I can't understand why they're being so unlovable. It takes great work, but it is the work. It's, I believe, the next frontier of human evolution, and we can get there together if we let go of our fears. The affirmation for this is, I remove my awareness from what divides us and focus on what unites us. I am the living embodiment of the one. And so this week, I'm inviting us all to look at places in our life where we can speak greater truth to circumstance. Conditions are not cause. Recognize that our thoughts about our conditions are our cause. Remember that it's all God. It's in, through, in, and as all, even that which we dislike, and seek to feel and sense oneness with all. In one of our classes, we practice at the very beginning of the class each week, bringing to mind or watching television and doing the practice of seeing people, conditions, and situations in our life and in the collective life with this affirmation: I accept you, I bless you. I accept you. I bless you. And I invite us now to start with that as we pray together. I invite our practitioner prayer partners to join me in this, please, if they would like to stand. And we begin by each of us bringing to mind conditions we might be concerned about in our life or in our world, circumstances or people, and we just extend ourselves from this place of anchoredness and truth and love and light, and quietly within our own being, just spend a moment. I accept you, I bless you. I accept you, I bless you. I accept this, I bless this. It may even be the mirror image of ourselves in the midst of our pain or suffering, or in the midst of not loving ourselves completely, that we look and see and say, I accept you, I bless you. And this practice becomes the mantra that sings itself through our body, our mind, our soul, our essence this week as we go out from this place and continue to weave a life of peace and well-being and love and light and wholeness in this practice of speaking the truth of acceptance and blessedness, of being at peace and trusting life and walking forward and knowing our work in our own heart is fulfilling itself, and we are guided to the fulfillment of greater and greater living for ourselves and for our fellow beings, other humans and animals and plants and trees, and the beauty of this wonderful earth. We stand together in this great truth of acceptance and blessedness and see it and affirm it and accept it. And it transforms us. It anchors us in the true nature of our being, which is God expressing for this power and this presence that God is this mantra unto all beings everywhere, unto all conditions everywhere, while at the same time allowing us to work individually and collectively to shift and mold and create anew. What a joy it is to remember this truth right here and right now, to surrender this up with gratitude into the law that simply says yes and makes it so. We let it be, we let it go, and so it is. Amen.
You know I'll be there, and I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show those true colors. The true colors are beautiful like a rainbow.
Thank you, Maddie. Wow. Thank you so much, Maddie. And we invite you now during this time of sharing good through tithes and offerings to use this as an opportunity to speak truth to circumstance, whatever your circumstance might be. It's an invitation to circulate, which might be you're giving financially, it might be that you're giving energy and prayerfulness as the baskets go by, or sending love into this beautiful sanctuary. Whatever it is, we're grateful for it and we give thanks for it. And we thank those of you who are watching online. Right now we have 358 people watching online, and they're from Japan and Texas, Arizona. I wonder if that lady I talked about was watching. Missouri, which I'm pretty sure is Tom's grandma. Hi, we love your grandson, by the way. And Spain and Germany. So we're blessed to have people from all over the world joining us today. And let us now say together our affirmation as we circulate our good. So please say with me, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is.
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you.
Thank you, Maddie Jaswersko. What a joy it is to have you. You are so talented. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Yay.
Thank you, Mile High Band.
Don't step on the magazine there, Carol.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dr. Michelle and I had the great honor to be in the Pride Parade a couple Sundays ago, and we got to walk with 75 Mile Highers. And one of the things that we proclaimed is all are welcome here at Mile High Church. And so I just want to reiterate that this morning. All are welcome here at Mile High Church. And so if you are new or have just started coming to Mile High, I just want to let you know we have a welcome center out in the middle of the lobby. We're there to answer questions, to greet you, to say hello, so please stop by. Also, our practitioner prayer partners are down here in front and available for a short affirmative prayer after the service.
Thanks so much. And we want to let you know that we've got a drum circle happening right after service over in the Labyrinth area. So if you'd like to join the drum circle or hang out with them and experience that, please feel free to do that. Reverend Michelle's here to tell us a little bit about some upcoming activities with Sacred Sisters.
Yes, Sacred Sisters is our women's empowerment group, and we're inviting all women of all ages to join us. We have a meeting the second Tuesday of the month online at 9:30, or the following Thursday at 5:30 in person here. And I'm excited to bring powerful speakers to present at those gatherings. And this week, is Reverend Cynthia James. So join us.
Great.
If you would like more information, I'll be in the lobby, and I look forward to meeting you.
Great. Thank you, Reverend Michelle. And Reverend Zamira is going to tell us about new members.
And yes, today is our new member empowerment class. It'll be online after the service, and then tomorrow night in person here on campus in the community center. So if you've been considering joining Mile High Church or deepening your relationship, or even if you just want to come out and learn more about all the offerings that we have here, I invite you to join me. And this time we also have a little special gift that we're adding, 20% off one of our education classes. But I hope that you'll consider joining me today online right after the service. Just go to the website. There's a Zoom link there, or tomorrow night in person.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Reverend Zamira. Thank you, Dr. Patty, for your beautiful prayer today, and Reverend Carol for your wonderful quotes. Let's stand together as we go forth in love and light. We know that we are the light of the world, and we shine our light brightly, speaking, living, broadcasting beautiful spiritual truth to circumstance throughout life, and knowing that we are blessed and we are a blessing. Thank you, life, and so it is.